Hello, this is Randomness with 5 Cups of Sugar, and today I'll be doing a review for Volume 2 of From the Red Fog. Please see my channel for the video of my review for Volume 1. I'll be doing this review as if you've already read Volume 1, okay? So basically in Volume 1, we kind of it's more about exploring Rwanda's backstory and about themes of redemption that he can potentially come back from this and redeem himself from his the how he was raised with his mother, who was a narcissist, and how he's a narcissist too. You can tell, and kind of more about his inner psyche kind of thing, okay? So there were redemption themes and basically finding other people who were also like him, who are killers, and him sympathizing with them. I mean, this one for Volume 1 had more mature themes like sexual assault and abuse, and just abuse in general. So that could be a trigger warning. It's very bloody and gory, and it doesn't really change for Volume 2 for the goriness. Except now in Volume 2, you add teamwork, because in Volume 1, it started talking about the organization, which is a group of assassins. Volume 2 is more looking at how he's faring in that group of the organization, with the main person who's in charge, Midwinter. And here's Ivan, and then there's Rwanda. The artwork is the same kind of thing. Good style. There's a lot more fight scenes in this one, like you can see. Sometimes it's a bit hard to follow what's happening because it's happening so quickly, with less frames, but the art style is very good still, as you can tell. It still has the normal colored pages in the beginning and the random bonus manga insert thing here and the end. So Makalo wasn't featured, who was in Volume 1, who based on that volume was kind of suspected as still alive, because she was at the end, she was like, help me. So she wasn't featured in this one at all. This one kind of, instead of looking more into Rwanda's psyche, is more about teamwork and how he just doesn't work in teamwork unless it has some sort of advantage to him, which again, narcissist. But it was pretty good. This one had more themes about, instead of redemption, it was more I guess kind of longing and jealousy, because there's a figure, May, and so he used to be part of the organization under its previous ruler, Bacchus, and it kind of triggers something in Rwanda, just seeing him with this little kid here, Kevin. Seeing them together makes his chest feel heavy, and so he feels jealous, but he doesn't actually acknowledge any form of, yeah, I could totally go and change my life now. No, it's kind of more he's not even entertaining the idea anymore, and it's more about what do I want? Right? It's kind of, this whole volume is really about what he wants, and kind of blaming the organization for not satisfying his needs. And so this one's a bigger emphasis on the surrounding society, assassins versus just slashers, killers. He doesn't really fit the assassin type, but so you see the push and pull between all of that. Okay, so here's the actual back of it though. So a young boy born in darkness stepped into the light. His journeys all around England brought him to a mysterious assassins guild led by an enigmatic nobleman named Midwinter. The Rwanda had hoped to find companions who shared his eccentric interests. The jury's still out on whether the organization is one such place. In the meantime, Rwanda and his colleagues venture out onto a new mission to assassinate the leader of a well-known gang, but only time will tell who will be devoured when the red fog descends. And it's $13 in the States and $17 in Canada. Okay, so it's quite interesting because you get to see more characters than just Rwanda. But it does have a different feel than Volume 1. Volume 1 was a lot darker, right? Because you see Rwanda's really how he's thinking and the redemption themes. This one's like he's descended. Oh my god. But you also see like juxtapositions between his mom and him, right? Still. So like you still see that he has the inner voice of his mom ingrained in him, and he's kind of like being her, because with narcissism, especially maternal narcissism, they view their child as an extension of themselves. And so I think he's identifying his identity with his mom, and so he's kind of like being like her, doing what she would do. Hears her speaking in his ear all the time and him transmitting it to other people. But yeah, so it's interesting in its own way. This one is a lot more action-packed. This volume is more action and other people's interactions. It's still good, though. Volume 1 was more disturbing, though, I'd say. But Volume 2 was more like getting into the action kind of thing. So if you like that, good. I would recommend it, though, because it is interesting and it's different than a lot of the manga that you see. So I would recommend it. Artwork, probably like 8 out of 10, so it's good. Story, I do like how there's some parts that you're kind of guessing and interweaving for the plot, because the plot is very good. Character development's really good too. You have like backstories for like each of the characters. Volume 2 is really looking at the like really creating like a world, this whole new world for the manga. So the world making is great. It's very thorough, detailed, it's believable. So I'd say for plot and character making and character development, I'd say 10 out of 10. Yeah, so I'd recommend it. Both of them are good, and they stand out on their own, which is kind of rare for like just manga or light novels where each one stands on its own pretty well. Usually it just feels like the continuation of the story, right? This one, it feels distinct. Like you can feel the shift between Volume 1 and Volume 2, which I like, so it's very interesting. Anyways, so that is my review of From the Red Fog. In summary, yeah, go for it. Okay? But again, worry about if you have a trigger warning, for example, for this one, for Volume 1 for sexual assault. Okay? But yeah, so have a great day and take care.